I was beginning to suspect you were never going to arrive. After Calcevius and my half-sister manipulated us into inadvertently releasing a rage of dragons, elsewhere has been overrun by the beasts. We do bear some responsibility, I suppose. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of Northern Elsewhere about 6 years ago. The Khajiit Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of Northern Elsewhere. Garesh Ree, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons. Ah yes, of course you do. He does get around. If Cadwell turns out to be the source of the power surges, learn what he's doing out there and ask if he will aid us against the dragons. For all his eccentricities, he has talents we can utilize.
I suppose it is good to see you again, Walker. Someone must help Tharn clean up the mess he created at the halls of Colossus. Come to think of it, you share some of the blame, yes? Do not mind me. Rampaging dragons put me in a foul mood. Trouble? More like flying disasters. Caravans devastated, livestock consumed, villages set aflame. It is more than the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force can handle. As much as I hate to admit it, we need Tharn's help. And yours as well, Walker. Damn Abner Tharn for translating the Wrathstone and finding that ancient ruin. He went in search of a weapon to end the Three Banners War. A weapon I told him was too dangerous, remember? And instead wound up releasing the dragons. Talk to Abner Tharn. He and the Speaker of the Main have been formulating strategies and contingency plans. Sometimes it feels like that is all they are doing. Maybe you can set fire to their tails, yes?
You're the adventurer who helped Abner Tharn and Chimera at the halls of Colossus? The battle mage has been waiting for you. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. No, matters in other parts of Elsewhere occupy the Main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived to take charge of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. Efforts to expel the usurper Euraxia Tharn were well underway when the dragons appeared. A few years ago, Abner Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimmon and parts of Northern Elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons spread across the land. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Talk to Abner Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor. a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne. His strategies and tactics for use against the dragon sound outrageous, but he knows what he is doing.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing, Theduna tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
What a stench! That's the stink of Cold Harbor, Walker. How such a fearsome and dangerous creature ended up dead beneath our favorite rocky outcropping, this one does not wish to speculate. Only an extremely powerful mage could summon such a monster.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
Uncanny. It looks just like that lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. If it... Ah, hello there. Good to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects, too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream, after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, honors a bantam gua, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it, hmm? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Groot was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragons since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times. Here.
The dragon returns!
Get down.
Take
I'll
cover!
deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it, but not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiit moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Walker, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own, Walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euroxia, the Usurper Queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold and consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garesh-Ri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garesh-Ri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
helped the clan mother retake Orenthia. Right moves, and well done. What do you want?
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon. With me! Stay close. We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
Cold touch of lingering death!
Foul creatures! Cut them down! enemy awaits, Five Claw! Destroy the Necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double your output. The enemy marches ahead of Euraxia's forces.
Little morsel, Mulamnir would talk to you. Mulamnir wanted to thank you, little morsel. Your actions helped set us free of our hated prison. Now, listen to the words I say. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abner Thorn set us free. You released us from the halls of Colossus. For that, I offer you this one last chance to survive. If you and the Battle Mage leave elsewhere, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to elsewhere. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths. Leave elsewhere, little morsel. Tell the Battle Mage, if I see you again...
Five Claw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the Necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
if we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help. Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone. The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the Cat General.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving elsewhere, I think not. Obviously, this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise, the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services. A parley with... a meeting with my half-sister. Why didn't I think of